Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This video has about 20 some articles. I have about 10 topics. I hope it's not going to be a long video. I can talk about all these articles and topics for about 3 hours. I'll try to make it concise. And we have to do with a lot of how can I put it, important obviously developments and some revelation about who owns us and other things like this. So let's start with the first topic, which Russian forces storming town in eastern Ukraine. That is next to Pokrovsk in Donetsk, and the town's name is Selydove. Now in Selydove, the Russians are storming it. I'm going to show you maps and the location and information. Next one, Assange, Julian Assange's father, the founder of WikiLeaks, says he's grateful to Putin. Why? We're going to find out. Next one, United States of America is engaged, the government, the one that represents us, I think is involved in theft. Is about to steal about $20 billion from the Russians. We're going to find out how. And they call it legal. United States and United Kingdom aircraft launch new strikes on Houthis in Yemen. Why? Because Yemen attacks free shipping, global shipping of our vessels, nothing else, no more to see. That's it. Not anybody else involved. I'm going to show you maps. We're going to find out who owns us. Total global debt to surpass $100 trillion by the year's end, warns International Monetary Fund. 100 trillion. So 1 trillion, right, is 1,000 billion. So 1 trillion is 1,000 billion. So we have 100 trillions. So multiply 100 with 1,000 billions. And you're going to find who are these guys that we owe. Remember, the banks, if you get a loan from a bank and you don't pay it back, you're going to be arrested. They will have someone to come and get you. I wonder, is these guys, who will they send to the United States of America if United States of America, let's say, defaults or say, we're not going to pay you? Who are these guys? That all these countries? It's very, very rotten. We're going to discuss this aspect. Russian troops establish control over islands in Dnepr River Delta. I will show you maps. New Development Bank, that is the BRICS Bank, can offer tremendous opportunities for BRICS economies. BRICS will destroy International Monetary Fund, or at least challenge it at first, and the World Bank. These banks are owned by you-know-who. And BRICS, Putin attacks the head of the Hydra, which is the banking system. Next one. US offers $10 million in reward if someone discloses details on Russian Rybar Telegram channel stuff. To do what? To do what? Why? Because we are supposed to get our information and knowledge, freedom of speech and freedom of the media from CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, CBS, all those garbages, plus the infiltrated, the new Mockingbird operation in the alternative media. People like Chris Cuomo, he was fired, but now he's just shining in the alternative media. You know why? Because he's good. At what exactly? Like O'Reilly, like Don Lemon, like Megyn Kelly, like we have, and this is a separate one, Ben Shapiro. We have a lot of people like this that are just, taking over. Why? Because they're telling us the truth. And even if you take Shapiro out of this, with his, the old mechanism with Prego, and all that, Jordan Peterson, unfortunately, is owned by the same guys over there. We talk about these operatives that now migrated to alternative media. But if they're good, what can you do? You can't compete with them. I don't trust that a bit. Why? They lied so many times. They worked for the same guys they supposedly now they work against. I don't believe that. I believe Tucker, and that's about it. Next one. So we're going to find out how the US government uses your money that you don't even know, or at least the money that they're going to print, and then it's going to make inflation. But you say $10 million. Give me $10 million. Why don't you? Well, you know. Next one. Ukrainian drones hit Russian key weapons factory 900 kilometers deep into Russia, plus a military airfield. There's two things. Far away. My question is this. Is this the green light given by the Americans and other baboons to the Ukrainians to hit targets deep inside Russia with their domestically produced drones? I think it is. They did it before. Is Russia going to do anything about it? Well, we're going to discuss this aspect. I have a map to show you where that occurred. So that's a town, and there was the town and a weapon factory. And the other one is an airfield in Lipetsk, far, far away. Next one. While we are concerned with sex change and other things like this, all right, brainwashing our children and regimenting them with a new garbage ideology, Iran, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Qatar take part in naval drills in the Gulf of Oman, by the way. So we're going to discuss all this. So let's start. The sooner we start, the later we end. Okay, let's start with this one. Ram pam pam. Reuters. Russian forces storming town in eastern Ukraine, bloggers say. Russian forces are fighting street-to-street battles with Ukrainian troops in the outskirts of the eastern Ukrainian town of Selydove as Moscow's forces push to gain control over the whole of the Donbass region, according to pro-Russian bloggers. Where is that located? Kids, right here, Selydove. Selydove is, I'm going to show you where Pokrovsky is. So this is Donetsk, the city of Donetsk right here. This is Selydove. Pokrovsky is right here. Pokrovsk, I want to show you another map, and this is the town. This is the map. We're going to go to Donetsk, right here. Pokrovsk is this little town of Bethlehem, and Selidovo, this is the Russian map, so remember the names are different. So Selidovo, this is where this is. This is a not updated map because the Sputnik takes vacation over the weekend and they go to fishing, so they don't update their shit. And anyway, Pokrovsk is here. So very close. They are fighting in this town. Let's go and see it. So the fights are occurring in this Selydove town. They're going to be flattened again. All right, next one. Assange's father says he's grateful to Putin. Oy vey. He praised the Russian president for being the first world leader to speak out in the publisher's defense. I think that's great. John Shipton, the father of WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange, has said that he is grateful to Russian President Vladimir Putin for supporting his son amid his persecution by Western authorities. Shipton arrived in Moscow on Sunday at the invitation of Russian journalist Mira Terada, the co-chair of the BRICS Journalists Association, and I'm quoting, "In 2012, my friends, 2012, President Putin became the first head of state to speak out in defense of Julian's interests as a publisher and citizen. Putin came forward when only, and I'm quoting, defamatory lies, end quote, were spread about his son in the media," Assange's father said, and I'm quoting, "For this, I express my sympathy to your president." In an interview with Russia Today earlier on Saturday, Assange's father explained the reason for his current visit to Russia. "I hope to offer the hand of friendship between myself and the Russian people, for it is only through peace between the West and Russia and BRICS that the world can live in some sort of harmony without a constant fear of destruction by atomic weapons." So this is the father. I'm your father. Here it is. So what do you think? You can say, well, Putin had an interest. I think Putin was on the right side of this issue. I think he was. And the fact that he dared to say that, you see, if a person, I'm not talking about Putin right now, I'm talking about other people from the past that we're supposed to hate wholly, entirely, they did some good stuff too, but they ignore those good things. They give you only the bad things. So if, let's say, you have a criminal who, let's say, saves a a child from getting drowned in a lake, what would you say? Oh, fuck you, you're a criminal. No, that's a good thing he did. All right, you understand? If you don't understand, well, you understand because you're here with me. Otherwise, anyway, let's see how your government, my government, is engaged in theft. I call it that the way it is. Russia Today. US to pay $20 billion into loan for Ukraine. So there's going to be a loan given to Ukraine, and the United States will take $20 billion from Russian assets receipts. The contribution will be repaid using profits generated by Moscow's frozen assets, the paper reports. The US is set to provide up to $20 billion to Ukraine as part of the G7 loan. So you lend someone money with someone else's money. Must be very generous, which will then be repaid using proceeds generated by the Russian assets immobilized by the West as part of Ukraine-related sanctions. Financial Times has reported, citing sources. So that's theft. The US and its allies, Al Capone and its plantation, have frozen an estimated $300 billion in assets belonging to the Russian state after the Ukraine conflict. So, my friends, let me discuss this. Can they do that? So if I have a problem with a neighbor, can a bank freeze my assets and then give it to that one? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's not how things work. So I think that's theft. And if you think that's right, how many countries in the world will have the same right to do the same thing to the United States of America for destroying their countries? I have many, many examples in South America. I have Yugoslavia, I have Iraq, I have now, they try to do other things in the Middle East. I have obviously Libya. We have Syria. Lebanon right now is with okay? Can they do it? And if your answer is they can't, it doesn't solve the problem of having the right, being just. All right, next. Let's see how the forces of the good keep us safe and the commerce flowing. Sputnik. United States, United Kingdom aircraft launched new strikes on Hodeidah in western Yemen. The UK would not dare to do anything alone. Maybe, I don't know, attack Libya or something. I'm not convinced they will win. US and UR aircraft carried out 2 strikes on the province of Hodeidah in western Yemen, a source in the local government told Sputnik on Friday evening. American and British fighter jets carried out 2 raids on Ansar Allah movement facilities in the Ras Isa area of the Al-Salif district in the province of Hodeidah in western Yemen. Okay, good. To protect our money, right? You're right. So this is the map of the Middle East, and we have Yemen down here, and Al-Hodeidah is right here at the border, at the Red Sea, south of West Red Sea. Here is these guys where they attacked. Why? Because they can. Because they can, to protect us, to keep us safe. I'm going to keep this map because we're going to talk about the Gulf of Oman. We're going to talk about the drills with Oman, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Russia. Economy. Total global debt to surpass 100 trillion by year's end, warns International Monetary Fund. That's going to be stabbed straight in the eye by the BRICS bank. Right here, New Development Bank can offer tremendous opportunities for BRICS economies. We're going to get to that after we figure who own us. Public debt, that's you and I, is expected to reach 93% of global GDP this year and approach 100% by 2030, representing a 10 percentage point increase compared to 2019 before the pandemic. So that means how much we produce in services and blah, 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 all that is going to be the same thing, the same amount with how much we own. So how can we pay it back? That's not the point. The point is those guys will have the money to dictate wherever they want on this planet who's doing what. And they will use what? They will use their private armies, quote unquote, which are going to be the US military and others. Mainly US military, that's what they do. But they will be smacked by the BRICS countries. Why? You like competition. I like competition. Fair competition. If we have rules, then follow the rules. If we say we have no rules, then don't cry when I do certain things to you and I'm winning. The same with the democracies. When these guys win an election, all perfect. When they lose, it was rigged. The same with cheap natural gas and oil in Europe. These guys could not compete, and they like capitalism, we're told. What they do? They impose sanctions. They stole $300 billion in Russian assets. Why? Because they can. And this is fair competition. But they tell us to be fair. Go and pay your taxes, drive speed limit, right? Yeah, all right. The global public debt will exceed 100 trillion by the end of the year. While the picture is not uniform, public debt is expected to stabilize or decline in 2/3 of countries. Decline. Why? Of the BRICS. This guy said. So it was clarified that this year public debt will reach 93% of the global GDP by the end of 2030, will approach 100%. So let's say tomorrow the United States of America decides to default on its, I don't know, these banks or whomever. I'm not talking about Saudi Arabia owning them or so. Among countries, a different story. But these banking, private banks, that we beg these countries to lend us money. Well, let's say the United States doesn't pay anymore. What do you think what these guys will do? We're going to have a little revolution, spontaneous revolutions, and the guys who are responsible for not wanting to pay anymore will receive Gaddafi's treatment. And you're going to see American civilization in full display. Next one. You don't believe? Don't believe what I'm saying? You have to go around the block halfway. You don't have to go the full way, the whole circle. Sputnik. Russian troops establish control over islands in the Dnepr River Delta region. Russian troops have driven the Ukrainian armed forces from the island zone of the Dnepr River Delta in the Kherson region. I will show you a map. Establishing direct control over large islands and fire control over small ones, regional governor Vladimir Saldo told Sputnik. Let's see where that is located. Let's go from Pokrovsk, Donetsk. We're going to go south. Here, this is the Dnepr River flowing here in Kherson. This is the delta where my strong hand is. Right there. This is the big and small islands of the delta. They're talking about this area. Supposedly, reportedly, they took control. The Russians took control over these islands. I haven't seen any advances from the Russians in this area, but I think they are trying to push the Ukrainians out of this area right here as well. That was the latest I found a while ago. Next. New development bank can offer tremendous opportunities for BRICS economies. That means it's not going to be the International Monetary Fund or the World Bank is going to give these guys, going to shackle them, but it's going to be another bank that's going to give them opportunities. All right? Right words used because these guys are not shackling them. It's not a bank. All right. The NDB, established in 2014, aims to mobilize resources for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in BRICS and other emerging markets and developing countries through the provision of loans, guarantees, and other financial instruments. BRICS, New Development Bank, and DB must concentrate on enabling private sectors to drive economic progress. Then NDB can introduce a tremendous scale of opportunities to economies of BRICS members, which undoubtedly have enormous growth potential. This must be done on a commercial basis, and I would hope the NDB will not just make credit available, but also act as a venture capitalist takeover, taking equity stakes as part of financing package and introducing businesses to each other proactively across the bank's network. This will require a network of local offices. There you go, my friends. So, if you like competition, you would hail this as a bravo. The best should win. But you see, it's the emerging economies. It's not the industrialized, so-called, the First World War countries. Why? Because they are owned by the other guys. So they are going to divide this in two. This is BRICS. This is your garbage. Instead of being only your garbage or my garbage. But this is aimed to be only my garbage, not both garbage. All right, let's see how the Americans are trying to find a source of disinformation on Telegram and maybe do something to those guys with $10 million reward, they call it. Bribe. US offers $10 million reward for details on Russian Rybar Telegram channel staff. Why? Because they are involved in misinformation and interference in the US elections. The US government announced a $10 million reward for information identify employees of the Russian Rybar Telegram channel, which authorities suspect may be involved in efforts to influence elections. Bloomberg reported on October 19th. So US officials said that this Telegram channel, Rybar, bolsters Russia's military capabilities while promoting pro-Russian and anti-Western narratives, noting it has received support from Yevgeny Prigozhin, founder of the... Okay, so you have Soros on the other side. What do you want me to do what? So they want to find out these guys what they're doing. That's interference. I know, how they call it, lobbying groups. I will name only one that has, I think, more power to influence our elections than any other, including these baboons and Ria, and that is AIPAC. But that's legal. That's legal. They don't do anything illegal over there, but they outspend everybody and put people in certain positions where they're gonna inform us. All right, next article related to the same issue. Bloomberg, this is the original initial article. US offers $10 million for information on Russia's war blog Rybar. They don't like what these guys are saying, therefore we're gonna do what? Place sanctions, arrest them, like they did with Durov in Telegram. I think Telegram will be closed. I give it a month, maybe. I think these guys are going to go over Telegram. Telegram will be disconnected out. And Durov is under house arrest right now. They say no, but that's what I think he is. Not that he is the main guy. I think he's just right now telling everything he knows and everything that he doesn't know to the right people under the flashlight. No, not like that. All right, let's see what the Ukrainians did in Russia. 2 attacks. 1. The Ukrainian drones hit Russian key weapons factory 900 kilometers deep into Russia. Got that? So we don't need the Western weapons. We have our own weapons to destroy them. Okay. On the night of October 19 to 20, Ukrainian drones from the SBU, Special Operations Forces, SSO, and the main intelligence directorate struck the Selydove plant in the city of Zizny Novgorod Oblast, according to the new voice sources within Ukrainian intelligence services. Where is that located? This is the town. Now the plant, I think this is an arsenal right here. Oh, right, it's an arsenal right there. But this is an arsenal they didn't say about. They said, what was the word they used? Weapons factory. And this is the arsenal next to the town. Where is dislocated? Dislocated. Right here is Moscow. So it's east of Moscow. And I'm going to show you another map so you see the real distance. So here, this is the border with Ukraine, right here. This is Sumy Oblast right here, this area here. And then you have, this is Belarus. This is Moscow. This is where it was hit. So I'm going to show you this map, the one that we were at. It's a different perspective right there. So from here you go to Moscow that way, and that place is somewhere that way over here, far east of Moscow. So from here they and went over there, and it seemed like they were successful. This right here, this, and this is the border. 900 kilometers deep. That's about what? 500 miles or so. The plant manufactures explosives, aviation and artillery shells, bombs, including KABs, cumulative anti-tank guided missile warheads, and warheads for air defense systems, missile systems. The facility is located 900 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. Got that? That's the one. And we're going to go to the next one. From Ukrainska Pravda, Ukraine strikes airfield in Lipetsk in addition to Sverdlov plant, Ukraine's General Staff report. On the night of 19 to 20 October, Ukraine's defense forces set fire to the infrastructure of the Lipetsk 2 military airfield in Russia's Lipetsk Oblast. I will show you the map. That's a big airfield. The airfield is known to host Sukhoi 34, Sukhoi 35, MiG-31 aircraft of the Russian Aerospace Forces. MiG-31K is the one that can be fitted with Kinzhals with nuclear warheads. All right, let's see where that is located. This is the airfield. Look at those chisel piece. Look at the bottom over there. Dun 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 dun. Right? We got it? We got it. So this, and oh, we're not done. What's this? Oh, ammunition, whatever is that. This is not the whole thing, because we got here some more. These are just subsonic, some helicopters. And right here, these are the MiGs. Guarantee you that. Got here the MiGs. Interceptors. Right there. Not hard to figure things out here. And it's more right here. More, so it's a two-tiered right here. It's a big freaking... All right, so this is two airports or airfields. Look at them. One like that and one like that. So where is this located? Right, Sumy Oblast is here. So this is across from Kursk. So this is Ukraine. Right here, this is Ukraine, the border with Russia. This is Kursk Oblast. This is the location. This is Moscow. And the other one was hit here somewhere where my strong hand is. And Kazan is right here. And Kazan is where, is that where they're going to have the meeting with the BRICS? If that's going to be it right here, Kazan, then these guys can hit them as well. On this map, we're going to go like this, across from Kursk, Lipetsk, right there, exactly right there. Got that? So, very close, successful strike according to these guys. And we're going to find out Iran, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Qatar take part in naval exercise. This is 3 hours ago by Mr. Franzman. All right. Iran, Russia, and Oman, where is the Saudi Arabia? Right here, began joint naval exercises in the Indian Ocean this week, with Iranian state media reporting that Saudi Arabia, India, Thailand, Pakistan, Qatar, and Bangladesh also participated as observers in these drills. Now, what's that? What do you think? Is it good? Is it good for them, but bad for us, my friends? The drill is part of the IMEX series of exercises which began in 2022 when the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, IONS, conducted the first edition. At that time, the Naval Technology reported that the IMEX 22 maiden edition was held in Arabian Sea between 26 or total or 15 out of 25 ION's members participated in exercise. And right now, the participating members nations were France, Australia, EU, Bangladesh, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but where are the Russians? They're not there, obviously. So that's a different story. Let's see what these guys are saying. Reuters, Iran hosts joint naval drills with Russia and Oman in Indian Ocean, state media reports. That's all they say. That's it. But where is that located? Where is that map? This is the map. There you go. This is the Gulf of Oman, and the Indian Ocean is this way if you go southeast. These baboons here, the media operatives in the West, they keep us, they think, in darkness, ooh, right, like blindfolded with international news. All this news that I gave you here, with the who owns who, with these drills, for instance, with the BRICS Bank, with IMF. These are very important developments that these guys are not telling you about. Why? They make from small issues big issues whenever they want, because they think that's what should interest you. Who's they? The guys in charge of our media. They will let us know what they think that it should interest us. I think everything I said here, it's there. It's there because it's reported by Bloomberg, right? It's reported by Reuters. They're reported, but these things come quickly and they leave quicker. Whereas other issues, they come, small issues, they come quickly and they linger forever. They never go away. That's how you make shape people's opinion, and then they vote in a certain way. And then you have the machines to accurately count the votes. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.